Good morning. Excuse me, I'm a little shabby looking. This is going to be the video exposing the heresy of chick tracts. It says in Psalms 119, 128. Excuse the noise. It says in Psalms 119, 128. Therefore esteem all thy precepts concerning all things to be right, and I hate every false way. At the end of the chick tracts, at the very end, some of them might have some good verses they go into, and I'm all for quoting Bible verses. That's wonderful. But you can't just give people a little bit and not truly point them to what the Bible's actually saying, and then you can't contradict what the Bible is saying after you show them only a little bit of what they're supposed to know. They may talk about the blood, they may talk about the death of Jesus, they may talk about his resurrection, maybe even the burial too, although most times I don't think I've seen one chick tract that talks about the blood, the death, burial, and the resurrection of Jesus, and specifying it as the way of salvation. I have not seen one yet. It says at the end of the chick tracts what to pray, and it tells you to pray a prayer and pray something similar to this. And it seems just the whole request of this chick tract telling you to pray a prayer all of a sudden out of the blue is such a false way. Where in the Bible is it telling you to now pray a prayer to after you've been saved or to get saved? And this is the heresy of it. It's all wrapped into the heresy. It's so subtle, and it sounds so nice too. They say they're handing a chick tract to somebody who hasn't believed in Jesus yet, and they read it and they like it, and they read it and it says what to pray. Okay, well, I'm going to pray this because this is what the chick tract says. But that's not how it works. In the Bible, there's no verse telling you to pray something once you get saved, or that you got to pray something to get saved. And also, this is the biggest heresy of the chick tracts when it says in what to pray. It says, invite Jesus into your heart as your personal Lord and Savior. This is heresy from hell. And it's so subtly disguised, and it's hidden in a tract that's supposed to lead people to the Lord, but it's actually giving them a false sense of salvation, giving them this vague gospel that doesn't specify the way of salvation. It's not even the gospel. It's just saying that Jesus is the Savior and thinking that since you've accepted him as the Savior, that's what saves you. If you don't understand what saves you, then you haven't accepted him as the Savior. It's extremely demonic. It's extremely evil. If you're inviting Jesus into your heart as your Lord and Savior, that's saying that you inviting him into your heart as your Lord and Savior is what saves you, not what he did by dying and shedding his blood and being buried and risen again for you that saves you. See how much heresy that is? See how that's complete and utter heresy from Satan? And it's so sad and so evil because they'll do this whole long thing talking about souls going to heaven or hell, and then at the very end it says, well, I invited Jesus into my heart, now I'm going to heaven. Acting like that's actually the way of salvation. And they're lying to people, and the chick tracts, they have their whole animation set up so that it continues to support the heresy. And I was talking to the man who hands out chick tracts in Times Square, and I pointed these things out to him, and I also pointed out flat earth, the reality of that, and that the globe model is a lie from the devil as well. And he particularly hated that, and he started yelling at me, even before I pointed out the flat earth truth, but he started yelling at me and saying, bye, is this a Christian? Oh, he made fun of me being homeless. He said my music was bad, and this was all for standing there with a Bible, pointing out 1 Corinthians 15, 1-4, the gospel, Ephesians 1:7, Romans 3:23, through 26, Romans 4, verse 4 through 6, Titus 3:5, all sorts of things. And he was trying to say that the gospel is found in the book of John. Well, some of it is, but we're not following John the Apostle. It's Paul. He's our apostle for today. And he got mad at me. He was not charitable. And he hands out chick tracts every single day. I wonder why. Probably because